I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Let's cook. Are you hungry? Okay, you can go now. I really appreciate that. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Raquel. Today we're making something I am really excited to have because we haven't had it in a while. Like, we have been not eating pasta on purpose because I'm making this. It's real. Today we're gonna make authentic Italian Bolognese. If you have never had authentic Italian Bolognese, please try it. In fact, just make this recipe because it's very authentic. I got the secret ingredient in this recipe from Oh Sweet Basil. The secret ingredient, by the way, lemon zest and lemon juice. It makes it taste that much better. It's crazy. You can't just make bolognese and have it like an hour later. It takes all day because it has to simmer and cook all day, so you get all the flavors incorporated. Probably sounds bad for me to say this, but it tastes even better the next day. Like most sauces, everything just tastes better because the ingredients have had a chance to marinate and sit together. This recipe has a lot of vegetables in it. Like most of my recipes, I've noticed have a lot of vegetables. I have 4 Roma tomatoes. I got them from, guess where I got them from? Everything's from Fresh Direct per usual. Except today I actually went to the grocery store because I got carrots at the grocery store, and I got some other stuff at the grocery store that I didn't get off Fresh Direct in the order, and carrots is one of them. And this pappardelle pasta, because this is the best pasta to have with bolognese. In fact, I don't think you should have any other pasta with bolognese besides pappardelle. Right now, I have the oven set to 425. Looks like it's finally done preheating. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is just cut these bad boys in half. Beautiful Roma tomatoes or plum tomatoes. I think it's the same thing. Cut them all in half, just right down the middle, the long way. And then you're just gonna place them face side down on the cooking sheet. Baking sheet, whatever you call it. And then we're gonna go ahead and drizzle some avocado oil on it. A lot of recipes call for olive oil. Avocado oil has a higher smoke point and it's way better for baking in the oven. Olive oil burns. You're also just gonna put a little bit of salt and pepper. Just a little. You're gonna get a lot more seasoning and flavor in the actual bolognese, so don't feel like you have to go crazy with the tomatoes, because we really just want the tomatoes for their flavor. We actually want tomatoes in this bolognese recipe. I like to rub them around and just make sure they're all doused in the oil. Then we're just gonna go ahead and put these in the oven for 20 minutes or until you start seeing like charred bits appearing. You want them to be charred. Okay, those are all set. In the meantime, you wanna go ahead and prepare all the other vegetables. 2 medium carrots in here, 2 stalks of celery. I have 3 here because I kind of cut one. This stalk of celery was not the best, a lot of rotten pieces on it. 1 red onion, 1 lemon, the zest and the juice, and about 6 cloves of garlic. 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce. And you only need 1 15-ounce can of fire roasted tomatoes, but they didn't have that, so I got the 28-ounce, and I'm gonna put the rest in some Tupperware to use later. And then we're gonna have a little bit of nutmeg and some bay leaves. Bay leaves are essential for any type of pasta sauce recipe you will ever make. We're gonna cook this in a stock pot. I think you could probably get away with cooking this in a slow cooker if you want. I have not tried it yet, but I feel like a slow cooker would be fine. The whole point is to let this cook and simmer like basically all afternoon or all day if you can. So I wanna go ahead and put together, let me get some bowls. I'm just gonna use this mixing bowl for the celery, onion, and carrot because they all go in together. And this little cute one is gonna be for the garlic. We use these so much. We got like a 12 pack or 24 pack off of Amazon. You can hear the tomatoes sizzling in there. I'm gonna put the microphone next to it and see if you can hear it. Can you guys hear that? Oh my God, this is so hot. So it asked for 2 medium carrots. These are huge. Look at these. These are 2 extra large carrots. I think I'll be fine with 1. I'm gonna shave this real quick. Got my potato peeler. Every time I do that, I get the shavings all over the ground. So you want to mince all of these things. You're gonna mince the carrot, mince the celery, mince the onion. And that basically means to cut it up into very, very small pieces. You could probably get away with shredding the carrot if you want, like with a shredder, but I'm just gonna go ahead and mince everything. I haven't made this in so long. I forgot that when I normally do this, I normally cut it long ways and mince it that way. I don't know why I did it this way. Man, I really should have cut it that way. Guys, after you shave your carrot, cut it down this way and then place them on the flat ends and cut more long lines until you have thin lines, and then place them together and mince it that way. That's normally the way I do it. I do not know why I forgot all of a sudden. I swear I know how to cook. So I'm gonna spend like 30 minutes cutting these real quick. Yeah, definitely don't need the second carrot. Look at all of that. All right, now you're gonna go ahead and mince the celery, which is way easier because it's already conveniently in a long form. Again, you only need 2 stalks of celery, but I'm using 3 just because they're smaller since I had to cut off a lot of the rotten ends. Come on, Fresh Direct. Usually I love your produce. It's always a good idea to prep everything you're gonna have to use, especially if you have a lot of cutting to do. You don't want this to be the reason you're not enjoying it, you know? Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the onion. Our tomatoes are done. This is so awkward. There's like no space right here. You can see they're charred and they kind of look a little burnt, but that's exactly what we want. I just got down our Ninja blender because I need to blend these tomatoes into a sauce. But I'm gonna let them cool for a second because they are piping hot, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish with the onion. How many of you, when you cut an onion, you cry? Every time I cut an onion, doesn't matter which one, it always makes me cry. Apparently if you chew gum at the same time, it helps, but I have not tried that. So far, so good. I've only cut them into thin slices like this. I spoke too soon, my eyes are starting to water. Ugh. I've like closed them and just squeezed until they're like stinging. Oh my God. I'm just so lucky to have you guys. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get some clove garlic. So much to prepare and chop up for this, but it is so worth it. This recipe is not hard, it just takes more time. Mainly the cooking time. I'm gonna get my little garlic mincer. You guys know I love my gadgets. Garlic mincer, definitely one of those things you need. Because no, I do not like to buy minced garlic. You guys should know by now, episode 3, that I love everything homemade and I love making it myself. Even if it takes a little more time and effort, I think it's worth it. Here we go, got some garlic right here. So I went ahead and blended the tomatoes and made it into a sauce. You guys didn't miss anything. I just had to push on, turn it on high, that was it. I think the authentic way to make it is to keep all of the fat from the meat in the Bolognese because it adds a lot of flavor to it, but I just want to take a little bit of it out because last time it was just disgustingly oily, and I'm changing this on my recipe on my blog too, just because of that. You're gonna need 1 pound of ground beef. We love Pat Frita. A pound of Italian sausage. I am adding 4 ounces of pancetta. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and add the ground beef. This pan is really hot. Apparently I need to get myself a gadget that I do not have, surprisingly. I need to get one of those, it's like a meat grinder, I guess. And it's like, it looks like a handle with hands. That way you can grind up your meat a little bit better when you cook things like Bolognese. I already got something on these pants. I don't know why I'm wearing white shorts while I'm cooking. All right, I'm gonna drain this. I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil and put it in the pan. And 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, so all those vegetables we just cut up, the celery, the onions, the carrots, that is gonna go in now, and we're just gonna saute it for about 5 minutes until it's fragrant. Still one of my favorite things. Look how pretty it is, all the colors. It looks very Halloweenish, very festive. Wait, while we're talking about Halloween, are you guys dressing up for Halloween, or do you have kids and you go trick-or-treating? Growing up, I was never allowed to go trick-or-treating because my family was very strictly Christian. So we would go to something called Hallelujah Night, and it would be at our church, or we'd go to someone else's church, and you just have like activities and they give you candy. So you're basically celebrating Halloween, but you'd be doing it at church. One time I went to my neighbor's church and it was so amazing. They had Trunk or Treat. It was like its own version of Hallelujah Night, and that was so much fun. I got so much candy. But yeah, I've never been trick-or-treating. Okay, now we're gonna add in the garlic and cook for another minute. Now we're going to add a dash of white cooking wine. Now I'm going to go ahead and put back all of that beef, sausage, and pancetta that was draining in the sink. You can see how it added a little bit of oil and grease back, but it's not that much. Like, I definitely drained out a lot of it. Okay, this is great. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the other ingredients. You're gonna need 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and add these 2 cans of tomato sauce and our tomato sauce. Amazing. Amazing. And then I'm going to use half of this 28-ounce can because I don't need the full can. That much. And we're just gonna stir that in. Now you need a 4th cup of heavy cream and a 4th cup of milk. Ooh. Let's stir this in. This is gonna make our sauce so creamy and extra delicious. Now I'm gonna add a dash of nutmeg and 2 bay leaves. And some salt and pepper to taste. Next, we're gonna go ahead and zest the lemon and juice the lime. Just going to do it directly over. Hopefully I don't drop this lemon in. I'm gonna cut this in half and juice it. Look how beautiful this looks. We added so many things to this, you just want to make sure everything is in there. Lovely. So that is all of the labor that you're gonna do when it comes to making this bolognese. So it really is a lot of work, but it's easy work and it's definitely worth it. So I just stirred everything and I'm gonna let it sit for about 6 hours. It's 1:51. I really wish I had gotten this in at 1. This is gonna have to cook for an entire afternoon and it's gonna be completely worth it. It's gonna smell heavenly in here. I actually cannot wait, but yep, that's it. All right, I'm gonna let this sit and I will see you guys when it is almost done. Okay, bye.
6 hours later.
Okay, a couple things. I made French toast, I took a nap, and I made the pappardelle pasta. I'm just so exhausted this week. I don't know. I'm always exhausted at the end of the week. On Saturdays, I'm usually so tired, but I still can cook. So right now I'm just mixing the pappardelle pasta. I just cooked it according to the package directions. I put it in a bowl and I'm mixing it with some of the bolognese. I just want the noodles to be coated in it and then I'm gonna make our plates that way. I don't really want to just put the meat on top of the pasta. It tastes so much better when it's actually mixed in with the pappardelle. This recipe is already on my blog, so I'm gonna link it below so you guys can make this, of course. You can sprinkle it with some Parmesan cheese or not, whatever you want. We are actually making some garlic bread. I did not make this homemade and I didn't show you because of that reason. I just got it from Fresh Direct because Nick mentioned garlic bread yesterday when we made this order. And I was like, that's a good idea. And I actually cut up some mozzarella right here. I'm gonna place it on top of it. I'm so tired right now. Like I feel like I'm going in slow motion. Oh, look at that. It smells so good. It is going to be so amazing. I already took a bite and tasted it. It's delicious. You can freeze this, you can save it and have great leftovers. It makes it really good leftovers actually. Like I'm really excited to taste it tomorrow because it's gonna taste even better than it tastes today. It's gonna be so hot because it's literally been cooking all day. Let me know if you make this in the comments below. It is so delicious. Oh, so delicious.